Overkill's The Walking Dead takes place in Washington, D.C. after the apocalypse hits, and the city is littered with walkers. You find yourself as a part of Anderson's camp, a group of survivors that have banded together to survive in a world where the dead roam the streets, and not all living humans are friendly. Key to survival is to rely on your instincts and your fellow players. You have to think and fight to live. Just as in the Walking Dead universe, the walkers are sensitive to sounds. You can go in full guns blazing and take out the immediate threats fast.
Careful, you're making a lot of noise out there.
But you'll risk attracting walkers that will quickly overwhelm you. You can also take a stealthy approach, carefully judging any sound your team, enemies, but also the environment makes, in order to get to your objective without attracting unwanted company. Choose carefully, because if done recklessly, you may find yourself facing a horde. The Hordometer will help you to keep an eye on how much attention you draw from the walkers, and will warn you if a horde is incoming.
God damn it, they're overrunning us. I'm reloading.
When you find humans, if necessary, try to dispatch them quickly and efficiently. You don't want an extended firefight that keeps triggering the Hordometer. Even though walkers are now a part of everyday life, humans are the real threat. In some situations, you will confront the family, an enemy faction of bandits competing for the same resources as you are. They will try to stop you and will undoubtedly force you into difficult situations, attracting more walkers. Washington, D.C. might be mostly deserted, but people have left valuable resources behind.
Let's see what more we can find.
Try to collect ammo and as many supplies as you can during exploration. As resources are limited, you need to choose carefully when to waste ammo or which items to craft. No playthrough is the same, as weapon and mod crates are randomly hidden around each location.
Okay, team, I'm here. Let's go.
Make it to the extraction point with these, and the whole team will be rewarded with a weapon or mod adapted to each player's level.
On the top floor, Anderson.
Working together is key to survival. Solve the obstacles and puzzles you'll find on your way to keep moving forward as a group.
Sniper, there.
Make sure to spot enemies, traps left by the family, and other dangers lurking throughout.
Trap there!
While working together and using strategy is vital, when the shit hits the fan, it's up to you to dispose of the threats. Aim for the head. Always aim for the head. Otherwise, you might be quickly overwhelmed.
They caught me bad!
As walkers reflect their living past, they come in different types and sizes. Keep your distance from bloaters, as they won't fall down very gracefully. While officers and soldiers who died on duty have become difficult armored walkers, make sure to take their helmets off before trying to deal with them. And if walkers get too close, they will grapple you. Stab them as fast as you can to kill them, but beware. When multiple walkers grab onto you, you're done for.
I'm hurt!
To make it out before this happens, shoving them might be the most efficient strategy. A non-lethal way to push them away from you, but using your hands to deal with walkers is not the best idea and will slightly reduce your health. Luckily, you will also have a lot of melee weapons at your disposal.
Oh, this is crazy!
Adapt and time your attack to each situation. Fast, or with slow but powerful strikes. There are also plenty of opportunities to find your favorite weapons and customize them, with barrel extensions, flashlights, laser sights, scopes, and silencers. When in stealth, using a silenced weapon helps to keep the Hordometer down, but when the shit hits the fan, going for the louder and more powerful weapons will shorten the firefight. While grappling with enemies and disposing of walkers is all fun and games, the survival of yourself and the camp is the primary objective of everyday life in the city. Upgrade your camp with the resources and supplies you extract from each mission. Keeping your home well supplied and ready makes it efficient at survival. Camp upgrades also allow you to unlock abilities for all your characters, as well as provide you with additional challenges like bounties and weekly missions. Maintaining your camp is as important as working on your own character progression. Encountering and helping survivors hiding in the city adds more people to your camp, eager to work as hard as you for survival. You can send them out on their own missions for extra rewards, supplies, and weaponry. Overkill's The Walking Dead is released in an episodic format divided into seasons. Each season offers a new part of the story and a new main antagonist to be dealt with. These episodes expand the Walking Dead universe through new places, storylines, characters, missions, and of course, weapons. Join us in Overkill's The Walking Dead and experience the first 2 seasons of the game from now until June 2019. In order to survive, you need to think, fight, and live together.
Hey everyone, Almir here at Overkill. I'm one of the producers here at the studio, back again with another The Walking Dead stream. Like always, I have with me the one and only Saul Gascon, the executive producer on Overkill's The Walking Dead. Hey,
Hello
Saul.
everyone.
Hey,
Hey
man.
Almir, how are you, man?
I'm good. It's busy.
Yes.
Yeah, busy week. You might have heard, you might have seen Starbreeze, our company, been featured in the news lately due to the restructuring of the company. We just wanted to address that. We want to make sure that Overkill's The Walking Dead, we're still going to continue working on the game, like always. We have a dedicated plan ahead together with our team. So, did I drop something there? And we're still dedicated to making sure that Overkill's The Walking Dead becomes everything it can be.
Yeah. I mean, the team is committed, working hard, and you know, like for us
As developers.
as developers, it's very important, right? Like, you know, whatever restructuring happens in the company or you know, change management or whatnot, the team is there, is pushing hard, and you know, I think that that me as being part of that team, I'm very, very proud of everyone, every individual of it.
Yeah, agreed. And we're still working hard, and we're gonna focus on the game itself because this is the Walking Dev stream. We focus on the game and what's coming up because we have a new episode in the works. We're gonna. I've been pushing Sal. We want to share something about it at least. So we're gonna briefly talk about what happened last week, what we did then, what's going on this week. We got a patch coming out. Is it already out? No, we didn't.
It's out just before we enter the meeting. We just press boop, we press the button.
All right,
so
awesome.
It's live.
So the patch is live then. So we're gonna go through that briefly. Then we're gonna talk about what's coming up, what we got in the pipe, and of course we have a Q&A segment, but we're doing it a bit different this time. We'll show you as we get closer to it. But let's start. What happened last week? We released our first episode of Season 2, titled No Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Really cool episode. You want to tell us briefly about it, Sal?
Now Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Our group needs to, it's facing the new villain, right? It's Patterson. And in our efforts to actually take him down, we need to raid and go in hardcore into the Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
But for that, we cannot just go straight. So we are starting to gather information in different parts of the city with different characters, different spots, right? And this is the first one, right? So the deserter is being held there, prisoner, and our mission is go in, help him out, right? Rescue him, bringing him to the camp, and then he becomes a new NPC that is in our camp, and then you can talk with him, and there is a series of surprises coming if you interact with him enough. Cool. Just saying.
So if you haven't tried No Sanctuary yet, please do. And if you haven't tried the game yet, we announced something last week that we thought was very good. And it's, of course, the starter edition. So we're going to bring up Control. Do we have the graphics? So we wanted to share this with you again in case somebody missed it, right? So last week we announced the starter edition, and the whole point with the starter edition was to make the game more accessible, right? So we have those who bought the standard and deluxe edition of the game, and whether or not you own standard or deluxe, you get Season 2 included in your purchase. So
up to June, all the content that we are launching, you get it automatically if you own any of these 2 versions.
Precisely. And what we did was that we released the starter edition, and the starter edition goes for $30, and you'd of course have to check your region for the actual price there. But for $30, and what it includes is Season 1. And it's essentially just a more accessible version of the game. You can still play with anyone who either has the standard or the deluxe edition, and you can even play content that you might not own from season 2, as long as someone who has it hosts it. Because our goal is not to split the community. We want to make sure that as many people as possible can play with each other, no matter the circumstance. So we hope you like it. We hope it's something for your friends, something for you, depending on the whole idea of it is us listening to the community, what people are saying, and trying to adapt as best we can to make sure that you're as happy as possible. So we hope you like that. All right, cool. So last week was the first episode. We're working on episode 2 of season 2. Very excited about that. But before we jump into what's coming up in the future, because we released a patch this week, can you tell me briefly about the patch notes?
We send like as we do in all our patches. We have a very extensive list of all the features that we actually tweaked, fixed, bugs, additions, or whatever we've done. It's there, and you have it on the Steam. So we are going to highlight some of them that the community was talking a lot about them. So it's worth letting you know. Yes, it's fixed. So if you don't want to read, it's all good. We're here to
announce
help you
it
out.
for you. Yeah, we'll read it for you. Like you read, to your kids, read a bedtime story. We can read up the patch notes. Yeah.
So one of the selection we've done right now, the most asked questions, right, is Skybound Insider skins. This is something that we saw that some users were having still some issues on this regard, on unlocking those skins, especially those who already had it before, and after the patch that fixed it for everybody, some of those users that have it had to re-log in. So we fixed that with Skybound. So it's something on the server side. So that is the only part of the patch note that is actually not in the installer, it's in the servers. But actually right now it should work smoothly for everybody. Report us back if you update and you have any issue with it. Then we fixed, in terms of No Sanctuary, the new level, the first episode of season 2. We fixed some audio issues, like we were being reported that the levels sometimes went a bit off, so some sounds could go off or on, or too high or too low. So we did a full pass with our audio team, did an excellent job there, and we checked and checked and checked, and now we're good. Other things, for instance, is in terms of balancing of loot drops, we increased it a bit, so you get a bit better stuff, just saying. We had reported as well on Join or Die, the last episode of season 1. There was one of the 40 locations in which people was having trouble to open the treasure box or the weapon case, right? And then it's like, you had to do it with a specific angle, so it wasn't very comfortable. So we just fixed that. And then, besides this, everything else you have it in the patch notes, but our usual big list of crashes, right? That any crash that we see that happens a bit too often, we go and fix it fast. Yeah. The next ones, we keep fixing them, obviously, but we prioritize the ones that happen the most. And then a lot of small bugs that we fix it here and there, keep reporting them. It's really useful for us. Yeah.
Patch notes are available in the Steam Community Hub right now.
Yep.
So if you're interested, make sure you go check them out. There's more information there. And make sure you leave a comment as well if you feel that we fixed the thing that you cared the most about, or if we didn't fix the thing that you cared the most about.
Also leave the comment there.
Yeah, leave the comment so we know what you care about, and so we know what you want fixed, right? Because that's how we do it. So let's move on. We're still working on season 2. Yep. We're working on episode 2, of course. What can you share with us? Like I ask you on a daily basis, like what can we tell everyone?
So Amir has bought me a lot of coffees. I like cafe latte, just for you guys to know, and just for you guys to see something.
Yeah.
So with the team, they pulled off a couple of screenshots
from the upcoming episode.
Yes, from the upcoming episode. Hup, there you go.
Ah, very cool.
So this episode happens in a gas station, and you can see things weren't pretty, before we came in. And we're not going to spoil too much on the story, but we've been guided here by the deserter. By the deserter to find clues about someone. So we're looking for those clues. And if I talk more, our narrative team is going to kill me. So I'm just going to stop it there. But as you guys can see, it's a new, complete new level in the gas station.
I see the logo there of the Accord Oil.
Yeah.
Of the gas station. Cool.
And this level will come with a story mission, and then 3 expeditions in it, right? So we prepare the level to be more dynamic in terms of gameplay and also in terms of lighting. This level also will come with different times of day. And I think
cool.
And I think I already spoke too much.
Yeah.
Too many
You know
spoilers.
me,
So,
I want to
That's
hear about
the
it.
same level at another time of day.
Yeah, very cool.
It's gonna be cool.
So we hope you're looking forward to that. More playable content. We're working on episode 2 right now, and I can't wait to show more. And I know we're not announcing the exact date of it yet, but it's coming in December, right?
Yes, it's coming. It's coming in 2 weeks.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. So this is kind of a briefer stream, but it's because we got the patch today, and it's because we need to go back to work on episode 2 as well. But what we wanted to do for the last segment of the show is the Q&A segment. So usually we go through our streams, we take up questions, and then we read them off our monitor, and or have control tell us about them. And we answer them, right? But for this one, we wanted to increase the visibility, the transparency of what we're talking about. So our team of community moderators, together with Elizabeth, have gone through the most high-profile questions out there in order to make sure that we answer the things that you care about, that you're discussing right now. So we've picked some of them that we figured we want to talk about, and we're going to go through them one by one. And afterwards, make sure you tell us if you like this style of answering the questions, what you want us to answer next time, and so on. I am sure the rest of the moderators want to know as well. So, how does that sound?
Sounds great. This is something that we try to answer as much as we can on Reddit, Steam, anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And this is cool. Like, we take the most voted or most commented ones, and we just spoke about them because I'm sure like everybody watching this has an interest on those too. Yeah. So it's cool. So let's try it out.
Yeah, let's try it out. So let's go through them one by one. Should we read them up? I think we should read what's it saying, right? Because people are reading it right now. But you want me to do it?
Okay, you read and I answer.
So, all right, cool. New endgame need. I have 200 hours with the beta. I need something to make me play these levels again. I've never... even if you make 20 new maps, I don't have a reason to play them again and again. When you have all the weapons, 200 power and all mods for them, I don't find a reason to play. Think about it. Thank you for the job you're making so far. Thank you, Skeletor, for your question. Love your name, by the way. So what about it?
So this is actually an excellent question. Yeah. Because this is bread and butter, right, of what we're building. And I'm super excited to see that Skeletor actually is already like maxed out. This is great. But yes, of course, we are working on a new endgame that's going to be added on top of what we already have. So for these more engaged players, there is going to be reasons to revisit all locations. And if I keep talking, I'm going to have a lot of issues with the team, So
well, we don't want to spoil things. The thing is also, when we are in development with new features, we don't want to spoil them too early because, as the nature of things is, they're in development, so things might change. Yeah. And this is a hot topic. This is something people are caring about a lot, and that's why we wanted to answer it first as well. So.
But the thing that we can say is that yes, we're working on this. We have several paths to take, right? And we're right now. Starting to try out, okay, what is the direction that we're going to take on this regard, right? And all of them are cool, right? So we just want to make sure that we take the coolest one.
And we're, of course, looking forward to hearing what you think about that when we get there.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next one. Games max resolution from Lord Decide, or Dayseed. Hello. So in my game video settings, the resolution only lets me go up to 1920 1080. That's all fine and dandy, but my monitor is 920 1200. Is there any legit way to play the game at the 920 1200? Also, let's say there is no option to make my gameplay at 1920 1200. Would my game look funny, blurry, etc. if I play it with those settings? Thanks for any replies. Thank you for your question, first and foremost.
Yeah, like we covered at launch the most used resolutions on Steam, right? And we've seen actually this confirmed with our own stats on the resolutions that people uses when playing the game. But our intention is always to keep adding support for more and more resolutions. But in this very specific case, for instance, it's very simple. Go full screen, borderless, and then you will get your resolution. And no blurry, don't have to worry about that. Like, if not, we will not support it, right? And, you know, supporting different resolutions just means that we need to arrange the UIs in a way that work for all resolutions. And the only ones that we're having a bit of trouble right now is the 4:3. You know, that's the only ratio that is a bit shady, but it's not going to be blurry either. You will just might have a bit of glitches on the UI. That's where we don't officially support it, but yeah. Hope that answers the question.
I hope so too. You will tell us, Lord Decide. You will decide.
You will decide.
If we answered your question properly. All right, thank you. Xitars. Sounds like an alien name.
That's cool.
Let us continue playing with the same team. After completing a mission, why can't we select a new mission with the current players? No, we need to quit the game and start all over.
So this is a nice feature request, and you know, we are doing a lot of improvements in terms of UI. We are doing a lot of improvements in terms of flow as well. We've seen already that some people in the forums are very happy with the, you know, all the evolution that we've done from the beta. You know, now it feels like years ago, and from launch, right? And
this is episode 11 already. I mean, we've been going at it for quite some time now, it feels like.
So yeah, this is a very nice request, and we will think about it for sure. Like, it makes sense. Right now, what you can do though, Shitars, I really like the name. What you can do is you have the players, and you can invite them and create a Steam group with them. You don't even need to befriend them. Create a Steam group with them, and then you can keep playing with them as long as you want. That's the solution that you can do today.
Cool.
Cool.
Next one. Alcat 101. Show fire rate and reload stat as number instead of bars. Certain weapon stat make more sense to be shown in number GUI instead. Fire rate can be inferred as faster increasing number, usually to the 100. Reload is a timer, self-explanatory. I'd argue that range can be shown as the distance range number 2, but we don't really have something in-game to measure distance, so keeping it with bar GUI is fine. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
So yeah, it's similar to the previous question, right? Like we are doing revamping the UI in some fronts that we feel that you know, we're not like super happy with the you know, how people is interacting with them, because you know, for us it's very clear, but we understand that then people plays and say, hey, this is not clear enough. This is you know, we need more info on this. So this is a very good input for us, and we will absolutely take it into account when we do a pass on the weapon UIs and the comparison.
Cool, thank you. Thank you, Alcat 101, for your question. Do we have any more? Another one? Consi. Sword weapons and mods by name. The title says it all, indeed. Right now it's sorted by quality, as far as I know. A sort of function would be nice quality of life. Right now it's a mess. What do you say?
Okay, so in this regard, you have several ways that you can sort your weapons, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's not clear enough from this post, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not clear.
Yeah.
So we are gonna surely take a look at this, and by name, it's something that actually we didn't have in our like list, but it's something that we can add as one of the sorting types.
Cool.
Cool.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Consi, for the question. And like we said in the beginning of this segment, please, reply and tell us, were you happy with the answer we gave you? Weren't you? If so, why? So we can, learn how to communicate with you better and better all the time. Thank you so much. All right, I think we have 2 more questions. Logan Voss. Update the mods pertaining to shared mods. Shared mods should show icon next to it, like a suppressor showing AR, SMG, and pistol icon next to the shared word, if the said suppressor is compatible to pistol, AR, and SMG. Thank you. P.S. If it is about shotgun using the icon, since both single action and double action can't use suppressor because both of them doesn't have a barrel extension slot, it can still works. Okay, yeah. What do you say?
I like how you went lower with the PS.
Yeah, well, it's PS, dude. You gotta
was cool.
respect it, you know. Otherwise, they wouldn't put it up. All
So
right.
yeah, in this regard, yes, this is part as well of the same path that we were talking before, that we're working on, and yes, we simplified actually in purpose at launch the how we show the compatibility, because the feedback we got on the beta was that it was too complex, and it was. It was like it was a bit too complex to understand, right? But you know, as players are going into more and more into the game, right? They understand it better, and you guys want a more precision. So it's the time for us to get that feature back, revamp it, right? So thank you very much for the input. We will take it into account when we redesign that widget, right? That pop-up that gets there when you check weapons and mods.
All right. Thank you, Sal. So we have one more question that we picked out. Let's check it out. Claude DeBouf, please revamp the horde system. Okay, I think the idea of infinite amount of walkers keep coming when you reached horde level 1 is really dumb. It's almost impossible on rescue mission, so I'm thinking of maybe waves of walkers coming when you reach the horde level 1, but when you reach level 2, things start to get tense, and horde level 3 is infinite amount of walkers keeping coming, but keep it at a reasonable amount. What do you say?
So this is a very interesting question, because actually that's how our system works. Claude DeBouf, you might want to apply for us as system designer, because that's exactly how our system works, right? So it's as you describe it. So you're on level 1, you have the waves, and the distance between waves is bigger in terms of timings, right? So you have a bit of breadth and less zombies, and more time in between each wave. In level 2, things start getting a bit more tense, so a bit more walkers, a bit less distance between waves. And yes, when you go to actually like max level 3, yes, there is a lot of walkers. So obviously what we are doing, and we keep doing on every update, right, is we keep tweaking the parameters of these waves, these timings, how many walkers, as you suggest, right? All of this we do it on every update. Based on actual tracking data, right? So we see you guys play, right? Well, it's not that we see you, but we get the statistics of how you guys play, where do you die, like how many walkers, etc. And we use that to actually balance this, right? And it depends obviously on difficulty as well. So from normal to overkill, the numbers vary, like amounts and timings between waves.
Cool. Claude DeBouf, we hope that answered your question. And like we said, if it did, make sure you comment back. Tell us your feedback. Tell us what's on your mind. Thank you so much, Sal. I think that was really interesting, because doing it this way, it shows the community watching that we're actually taking questions from the community, not just making stuff up and go, oh, somebody said this, and you get to see the question itself, right? And it's also an opportunity for you to go, hey, if I actually type out my question or my thoughts or my design ideas or what have you in the community hub, we will pick it up and we'll talk about it here, and our moderators will make sure that they talk about it with you, and if it's not brought up, that we answer somehow anyway. All right, cool. So that was the Q&A segment for this time. We hope you liked this format. Make sure to share what you thought.
Control is saying something.
What were you saying, Control? Oh, okay. Nothing for your ears, just for mine and Sal. So, what we want to end the stream on really is just say thank you so much, every survivor out there, for continuously trying to survive in Washington, D.C. We really appreciate it. We think it's so much fun, working on Overkill's The Walking Dead, and we can't wait to release episode 2 of season 2. It's in the works, like we said. By the way, one last thing for me to ask you: how much is it? The next episode? Is there a price tag?
You really want to talk about this? It's free. Actually.
It's free.
Yeah.
There we go. So episode 2.
It's free for both the
standard and
deluxe, and
the starter edition.
The starter edition.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of like what we did with Payday, right?
Yeah.
We always will offer like some paid free DLCs, so it's a kind of a balance, right? So even though if you just bought the base game, you can still play this episode for free, right? Still no Sanctuary though, that's a paid one, so it depends on a cadence
Cool. So that's great. I like hearing cool new information about upcoming episodes. Warms my heart. So like Saul said, the upcoming episode is going to be free for anyone who owns Overkill's The Walking Dead. It's going to come out in December. Depending on if you heard through Saul coughing before, maybe you heard when, but it's coming this month. Next stream we're going to talk much more about it. Really looking forward to that. For this stream we talked about the news about the company, the restructuring, and us saying that we're going to continue working on Overkill's The Walking Dead like we are right now.
Team is kicking ass.
Team's kicking ass, working really hard. Much love to everyone in the dev team. And we talked about No Sanctuary, that was released last week, the first episode of season 2, starting off the entire season 2 that will continue up until June of next year. And yeah, then we went through a ton of questions. Really interesting. We hope you really like the way we did that. We'll see, depending on your feedback when we get out of this room. And last but not least, thank you so much everyone for watching. Saul and myself, I think I speak for you when I say it. We really appreciate you. We look forward to hearing what you think. And of course, we look forward to seeing you play the next episode. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.